All right, Kyle Busch, thanks for joining us. Let's start with the good stuff. Your memories from winning the Enjoy Illinois 300 last year here in St. Louis.
I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, the last couple of years has been great. Starting up front, both races certainly helps. We ran up front in both races. Finished second the first year, battling with Logano. I felt like I could have won that one. I just made a bad move into turn three, kind of overshot the corner a little bit. And then last year was able to fine tune that, not overshoot the corner, but able to make the most of our event last year and score that win. So had a couple delays in that one, so it went a little later into the night. Finished under the lights, but felt good about it. Great turnout from the crowd, so always a lot of fun up there.
What do you like about Worldwide Technology Raceway and the fact that the corners are kind of unique and different? Is that something that drivers can look forward to?
So that's exactly it. I feel like the racetrack itself kind of lends itself to a different challenge than what we're accustomed to. A lot of times you run these racetracks and you kind of run them very similar at both ends of the racetrack, just trying to do things consistently. But turns one and two is vastly different than turns three and four. So you've got to drive that track technically a lot different than some of the other places we go. And I feel like as a driver, that's fun. That gives you a different challenge. And some guys take to that challenge and others kind of struggle with it. So for us, it's been good.
What do you like about visiting Gateway, as we used to call it, obviously Worldwide Technology Raceway now? But last year, Brexton ran some dirt around here, right? Are you planning
Yeah.
on doing that again?
Yeah, no, I enjoy coming up to that area. The dirt tracks up there are really cool. They're a lot of fun. We're going to run Friday night. We're going to go to Coles County Raceway. It's about an hour and a half, I guess, east of the Speedway over in Illinois. And then I think Saturday we might race as well too, but that's kind of to be determined. But I know we're going to be Friday night at Coles County. He ran there last couple of years. We've actually ran around in the area like 3 nights, but this year will be a little different.
I know your brother Kurt is a big Cubs fan. I'm wondering, are you a Cubs fan as well? So any kind of fisticuffs with the St. Louis Cardinals over the years, because obviously that's a big rivalry, and they're coming to town this weekend.
Oh, okay, cool. I've when I was a kid and I played Little League Baseball, I've had 2 years playing as an Atlanta Brave. So I was always kind of like, okay, I'll pull for the Braves. And then, funny story, Greg Maddux, who was a pitcher for the Atlanta Braves during that time, his brother went to school with my high school baseball coach. And so there was kind of a connection there. And actually, my mom, who worked at the school, and me still to today, we keep up with the baseball coach and his family and stuff like that. So, they're really close family friends, but it's really cool to kind of have that tie. So I guess I'm a Brave fan.
Yeah, you had the win obviously last year in St. Louis. Obviously, so far this season, not going exactly how you would have hoped. How do you turn that around? And maybe St. Louis is the spot for it, but how do you try to turn things around quick?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. We've had definitely some better results at the mile-and-a-half racetracks. We've been fast at Daytona, Atlanta, Vegas. Dover's not a mile and a half, but we were fast there. And then Kansas, we were quick as well too. So looking forward to Charlotte this weekend, going there, a mile-and-a-half racetrack. Feel pretty good about that. And then what's interesting about Gateway is we actually run the mile-and-a-half aero package at Gateway. So I kind of feel like that's something that we've honed in on, that we feel like is a strong suit for our team and how we go about setting up our race cars. But the short track aero package has kind of been to our demise. That's the one that we seem to struggle with the most. So we'll continue to work at it and make it better, I'm sure. But we need to just have some more consistency. And if we can have more consistency in our program to where we go week to week to week, finishing in the top five, we're definitely going to have more opportunities to score wins.
So the old elephant in the room. I don't know if you've addressed it yet, but obviously a lot of stuff going on last week at North Wilkesboro. Just give us your thoughts on what transpired, and some fines and penalties also were announced this morning.
Yeah, to me, it's just lap one. The water's not even hot. The tires aren't even hot. You're kind of slipping a little bit, but yeah, I ran wide in turn one, gave the opening to the middle. He took it. I gave room on the exit to make sure we didn't touch, so I touched the fence a little bit. I was touching the fence, and he still ran into me and brushed off of my left front corner. So it was inevitable that I was going to get put in the fence anyways. So I wasn't too pleased about that, and did come back and and retaliated, showed my displeasure of that. As one guy once said, I meant to rattle his cage and spin him out. Didn't mean for him to overcorrect and stuff it in the fence, but that's sort of what happens sometimes. And then afterwards, obviously, trying to have some casual words. I had no idea his comments of hold my watch, or, hey, if you want to see something afterwards, hang out until afterwards. Nobody told me, so I felt like I went into an ambush blind with him and his team, and having an idea that they were all kind of set up in different areas. But tried to hold my own the best I could, fighting off 5 different guys, and came out of there with no black eyes. So, I guess we'll see how that progresses going forward, and what we do, heading on into the next few weeks.
And I'm guessing you heard or saw Richard Childress's comments last night. Always nice to see your owner having your back like that, really having your back, it sounds like.
Yeah, I've been on that end of things before, so I know Richard and his meanings and how he feels about his team and everybody that works for him, and he's passionate about the sport in general. And obviously we know that the 79 Daytona 500 was built on that, right? But it's just a nature of what he's all about, and that's protecting what's his, and what he believes is the right way to go.
And last question on this. How do you feel, just big picture, about fighting in NASCAR? Obviously, NASCAR is promoting this going on. And it seems like we saw this with the Ross Chastain, Noah Gragson last year. It seems like they allow the first strike, and then the second guy tries to retaliate. Everybody jumps in. That doesn't seem fair to me. In hockey, they kind of let you go till it ends, and then they break people up.
Yeah, I agree. You either got to not let it happen at all, or you got to let it go for at least the guy not throwing the first punch to have a way of being able to get back into it. And then obviously too, the advertising and the promotional side. I still don't know if there's been any posts on NASCAR social that hasn't had to deal with a fight since Sunday night. So, they're promoting it, but yet they don't want us doing it, or they penalize you for doing it. So I'm guilty of it. I did it back in 2017. Logano and I wasn't pleased with him. He crashed me for 3rd place on the final lap of the race. And I just walked right on down there. And again, I knew to be the first guy to throw the punch, so I didn't even talk to him. I literally just threw, and then the whole team gets in there and the scuffle happens, right? So that's just, I guess, a part of it. We all want to have clearer rules, but obviously too, we're not WWE. So if we're not going to set up clear and concise areas for us to fight in, then I don't know that we need to be fighting.
And finally, this is the Kenny Wallace YouTube channel. Unfortunately, your buddy Kenny has a bad case of vertigo from dirt racing. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. I know you've done some dirt racing and all that.
I think I've gotten dizzy one time on a roller coaster. That's about it. That doesn't sound like fun.
Right. So any well wishes for Kenny as we conclude this? And also, do you have a favorite Kenny Wallace story? I was on when you did the Kenny conversation a couple months ago. Any great Kenny stories from over the years?
Well, obviously, Kenny, we hope you feel better soon. You're gonna be just fine, just as normal as always. So can't wait to have you back. But Kenny's always been one of the fairest guys in the garage. I mean, he's always been super chill, super nice. I think one of my favorite memories of him was him running the Red Dog car and also the Bear car, so just back in the 90s of time in which NASCAR was really growing. I remember it from way back when. So always was a Kenny Wallace fan. I think a highlight of his was obviously too probably being in the Earnhardt's final win at Talladega, where he was right behind him, pushing him all the way to the checker flag, finishing in 2nd. So that was really cool too.
Awesome. Well, Kyle, appreciate the time. Thanks so much. Good luck in the Coke 600 and then the following week here in St. Louis. Appreciate it.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, thanks, man.